welcome back to the Black Ocean family. I hope everybody is enjoying their Thanksgiving so far. And I saw this, and I got a lot of these updates on our sister Shanquella Robinson's murder case here. And it's going to be some good news. It's going to be some good news, and I think all of you will be happy to hear this as well. Of course, I'd like to salute and thank everybody in the chat. Project Leroy, our brother CRU, Quincy X, Arlene Foster. Okay, let's see here. Who else we got? T-Step. Salute to everybody that's joining us here. Of course, you know they've been messing with the channel. Some of it has been technical difficulties on my end. But as they always say, one monkey don't stop no show. So today, what I'm going to do, since we have the audio issues all worked out here apparently so far, I'm going to replay the last video in this stream because it correlates into all the information that I got gathered here for you today. That's going to lead to some updates that some of you may have heard about. Some of you may have not heard about them, but we're going to cover a lot of ground here tonight. So I want to start out with this picture of the sister Shanquella Robinson's family. Okay, so unfortunately for her mother and her family, they're not going to be enjoying their Thanksgiving with their daughter, you know, because of those damn jealous ass demons that did what they did to that sister. But see, the good news is, family, before this broadcast is over, like I titled the thumbnail, she's going to get justice now because, see, one thing that happens when we all stick together and we're on code, we can do anything we put our minds to. So today, I want to make sure I get this point across to everybody that joins this broadcast today. Never underestimate the power of using social media the right way, because we all saw in the beginning, they weren't even going to try to take this up as a murder investigation down there in Mexico. And they would have just swept it under the rug here because it's a black woman. And see, the standard that I want us to be able to start setting on these types of things is this. Not just for our sister Shanquella, but every black person, male or female or child, male, female, or child, we have to get a standard set where we don't let nothing happen to any of our people without trying to seek justice. Okay? So tonight we're going to cover a couple of things here, and I'm going to play the previous video from the last stream where we had all those terrible audio issues. Hopefully you all be able to hear that here tonight, because like I said, it goes into everything that I want to bring to you all here today. So with that said, brothers and sisters, I'm going to let this play, and I want you all to pay close attention to this.
Welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Thank you for joining us tonight. We would begin with a disturbing story out of Mexico. Shanquella Robinson went on vacation with a group of friends for a birthday celebration in October. Shanquella never made it back to the United States. She was dead within 24 hours of getting off the airplane. Now, Shanquella's mother says her daughter's friends initially told her the 25-year-old died from alcohol poisoning, but the autopsy is telling a totally different story, that she may have been beaten to death. New video shows those so-called friends attacking Shanquella Robinson on vacation.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No.
At least something. At least fight back, something.
That's horrible. The case has many people wondering exactly what happened. Justice for Shanquella has been trending on Twitter, and the FBI is now involved. We're following the investigation as well. Joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, Todd Smith and attorney Dennis Sperling. Dennis, you travel abroad all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you keep up with all the international laws and how it could affect you. When many people think because this murder happened in Mexico, it would be in their jurisdiction, it would be for them to investigate. But that's not always the way it works in America.
That's absolutely correct. You're an American citizen and you do something abroad. The United States still could have jurisdiction over you if that jurisdiction does not decide to prosecute you.
And it looks like Mexico has no interest in following up on this, right?
Mexico sees an American citizen and another American citizen or American citizens having a dispute. It ended in someone's death. And now everybody's back in North Carolina, allegedly. This is where these folks are from. But bottom line is, it's in the hands of the federal government at this point if they decide to prosecute.
Now, looking at this case, just how horrible is it? You go out of this country with your so-called friends.
Yeah.
They lie to your mother, saying that you're drunk and that you're sick, and they, or at least some of them, kill her.
Well, you know, I've done some investigation into this, and looks like all of the individuals attended the HBCU Winston-Salem University, so they've been knowing each other for some time. And what I see is female on female brutality going on. And if you check the statistics, it appears as though women and their propensity to do violence and be arrested and go to prison is going up, while on the other hand, men, their propensity to do violence is going down. Just in the case of Black American men, there was a time we had more men in college, or more men in prison than in college, and now the opposite is true. But unfortunately, our lovely ladies are kicking up some dust.
Horrible situation. Todd, your thoughts on seeing this, where these individuals went out of town as friends, and now one is dead, and they lied about it. Now many of them are getting on social media trying to tell their story, their side, but it's just unforgivable.
But I think you said it right earlier. You said so-called friends. People have to be careful about who we call friends. There's a meme that's going around that says you could be friends with somebody for years, and it takes you years to realize they were never your friend. I
want to pause that right there, okay? And I see a lot of y'all saying there's a slight echo to the video. I'm going to see if I can adjust that. Do try to bear with me. But brothers and sisters, it goes without saying, and I'm going to say it again like I did in the last broadcast. Make sure that what he just said is something that you're sitting down talking to your children about. Because, see, I'm going to add this to it. In addition to what that brother just said, make sure that you teach your children that not only must they be careful about who they choose to be their friends and watching the qualities and values that those people have, the friends that they have must be good at picking good company. Because, see, there are oftentimes situations where people will be involved with other people they call friends, and they may not know everybody that they associate with, and that person could have something going on. They come around them, and it could cause all types of problems. We saw that with the situation with the brother Young Dolph. From what I understand, somebody that he was cool with started bringing somebody around that he didn't know, and we saw how tragic that ended. So I just wanted to add that quick point to it. And like I said, I'm going to see if I can take care of that echo issue. So please bear with us. We got a lot more information to get to here tonight. So that's it. I'm going to let him finish there.
Sometimes I get a gut feeling when I think something is wrong. I don't know their situation totally, but a lot of times when I'm put in bad situations, I'll feel it and I'll remove myself from that situation. I just won't show up. But the thing is to kill her, allegedly, whatever happened, 24 hours after y'all gotten there, that had to be some animosity beforehand. I tell people a lot of times, people in the hood, we always say, I want my day one friends with me. I want the friends that were with me when I didn't have anything to be there with me when I blow up. This young lady, 25 years old, all of them went to Winston-Salem. She had a successful business, beautiful. That might lead to some jealousy. And jealousy will rear its ugly head. So a lot of times when you're down and out, people will have your back because that makes them feel good about themselves. But the minute you do well, that's when the animosity comes. So young people need to realize that sometimes you need to pay attention to the people who might be giving you smart comments when you find success. Those people are not your friends. Just because you've known them a long time doesn't mean they're your friends. So you have to be really cognizant of the people you keep around you. I just keep family around me for the most part, but keep the right people around you so you probably won't be in this situation.
Now, let me pause that. Very wise words he spoke there, but I'm going to add yet another thing to this that even those of us who are older need to bear in mind. Understand this. They went to school with this girl, and I understand that they've known her for at least 5 years. But I want everybody in this chat to pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you next, because it applies to all of us, right? You have people that you probably grew up with. As life happens, we go our separate ways in life. We choose our different career paths and go on our different journeys in life. Let me caution you all about something to teach to your children, because I know everybody in here should know this, but we have to make sure we pass this information on to our children so that we can prevent them from being in situations like this, or if they find themselves in situations that could turn out like it did for our sister Shanquella Robinson, they know to take their leave of that situation before it gets to that point. Understand that just because you grew up with somebody, if some years have passed, make sure you have it drilled into your mind, especially you sisters out here. Those people may not be the same people that you knew when you were growing up. I'm going to say it again. People that you grew up with, if you separated and gone your different ways in life, years have passed, you may not know who those people have become because, see, they might have been good people when you were coming up, but life changes people. You never know what they've gotten into. You don't know if they picked up a drug habit, got a criminal record or what have you, all types of things. You never know what they could be into. So that's something that we have to make sure we impress upon our children, for those of you that are parents, and for those of you that are not parents. If you got little brothers, little sisters, little cousins, nieces, nephews, all of y'all have to sit them down and talk with them about especially this story. And I mentioned in the last broadcast about the sister Kanika Jenkins. Okay? Sit down and talk to our young ones about this because, see, we have to prepare them for life. And a part of preparing them for life is preparing them to deal with potentially dangerous situations and teaching them how to recognize these types of things before they occur. There's some people just by their demeanor that you just go ahead and cut off. You don't never go on no trips with them. You don't even hang with them or associate with them if you can help it. Because, see, those are the types of people that end up doing what they did to this sister. So with that said, I want to let y'all continue to hear the rest of this because I know the last video, last broadcast or whatever, y'all couldn't check this out. So check this out, what he's about to say here.
And Dennis, do we know, and I heard some rumors that she may have paid for some of them to go there.
Yeah, and that is a tragedy. But my advice to that mother, if you're listening, if you're following this program, and I hope you are, I want to make sure you stay on the FBI. You make reports with the local police. You follow up with the FBI agent assigned to this, and you make sure this gets in front of the Attorney General in North Carolina, because that is where you're going to get justice. The other thing is there's always an opportunity to file a civil suit against these individuals for wrongful death. It's a different process, but it's the same courthouse, but it's a lesser burden of proof, and you can get to the truth of what happened in this matter.
Unless they have substantial resources, so is it worth it?
Well, sometimes justice requires that you do what's necessary. And I think that if it was my son or my daughter, if I had a daughter, you know I got sons, but if it was my sons, there would be nothing that would stop me from finding out the truth and making sure the people who caused my child's death, if it was truly murder or killing, I would want to bring them to justice, one way or the other.
Now, you've been doing some deep diving into this. What else have you found out that maybe the public doesn't know just as of yet, Dennis?
Well, as I said earlier, all of them, the alleged assailants attended Winston-Salem. So that means they've been knowing each other for at least half a decade. They know each other. They're familiar with each other. And when you listen to the voices in the background, I hear multiple people witnessing this incident. Now, all of those individuals had a duty to come to the aid of that victim. They can't just say, "Oh, I didn't do anything." Everybody is subject to that murder, alleged murder. The other thing I want you to understand is that, and I'm going to say this, and this may sound controversial, but if this was a little white girl, I'm sure it would be all over the news right now. But because it was a young black.
And that's the point I want to pause and make this point about that right there. Again, as I said last broadcast, a lot of you may know Dennis Sterling from other podcasts, but put your personal feelings about the brother to the side for a minute. What he just said is nothing but the truth. If this was little Tiffany down there and something happened to her, mainstream media would have been all over it. Everybody in the dominant society would have been demanding that something get done about it, and rightly so. So what I want us to grow into the habit of doing anytime something happens to any one of our people, we got to be hell on wheels about getting justice and let them know we're not going to be quiet about it. You're not going to sweep it under the rug, and we're not going to let you just sit here and treat this as if it doesn't matter because it's a black woman or a black person, okay? And see, like I said before, I want us to develop this mindset. But any of our sisters out here to go missing, so many do go missing under different circumstances in this country. That's something we're going to have to get a hold of, especially with our children. Okay, so this case right here, it's a lot of lessons in it, very tragic. But what he's speaking on, that's something that lets you know, for the people that's always running around talking about, it's not about race. Yes, it is. Everything in this country is about race. because clearly we know he's telling the truth. Had that been a little white girl, everybody would have covered that. It would have been all over the news. That's all you would hear for weeks straight until they got some answers, especially with the way things have been going. But again, later on in this, I'm going to show y'all something. Like I said, I got some good news. Some of it's probably already gotten around, but some of it I guarantee you I probably didn't know. So yeah, we're going to get to it.
Woman, I feel, and this is because I've seen it play out, and you can't even name the number of black women that are missing. There are so many black women that are missing in the United States. There's been no public uprising because she doesn't have the complexion for protection, as we used to say.
All right. Dennis, Todd, thank you for joining us here on The Factor.
All right. So now that was the video that you all heard. So hopefully we have things going in the right direction. I'm confident that there's going to be justice because, see, as you see on your screen here, police report reveals Shanquella Robinson spent 3 hours with a doctor before she died. So now I want y'all to check this out, family. I want y'all to see what I discovered here as I was doing my own digging on this. This is an excerpt from that news report that I just read you on. Now, listen to this. The partial police report was provided to the Charlotte Observer, that's a Charlotte newspaper, by an investigative reporter from Metropolix MX, Mexican newspaper. In the report, authorities say at 2:13 p.m. on October 29th, medical aid was summoned to the villa where Robinson and her vacation crew were staying, located in San Jose del Cabo. An hour later, Gutierrez from the American Medical Center, a local hospital in the area, arrived to assist Robinson. Gutierrez was then told by others at the house that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol. He then decided to give Robinson an ID. Now, I want y'all to listen to this as we go forward reading this. I got to bring y'all up to speed on this, just in case you haven't heard it, because I'm going to stay on this. The report goes on to say that Gutierrez found a female understood in the report to be Robinson with stable vital signs, but dehydrated, unable to communicate verbally and appearing to be inebriated. Gutierrez then told the other housemates he believed Robinson needed to be transferred to a hospital. Now listen to that. This doctor here in Mexico, after he was doing his initial examination of her, was telling them she needed to be taken to a hospital. Now listen to what they said. But her friends insisted that she be treated at the villa. Dr. Gutierrez then tried to give Robinson an IV, but was unsuccessful. Now, y'all see that, family? That lets you know that after they did what they did, they caught themselves trying to hide things by not having her go to the hospital. That lets you know they didn't give a damn about their sister. Now, listen to this. According to the police report, an hour into Gutierrez's house visit, Robinson began to have a seizure. They beat this girl so bad she started to have a seizure, man. 911 was called shortly after by one of the housemates. By this point, Shanquella Robinson was struggling to survive. She was suffering from difficulty breathing and a lowered pulse. At 4:49 p.m., Gutierrez detected Robinson had stopped having a pulse. Then they quickly began giving her CPR. The report says police arrived at 5:25 p.m. and paramedics administered a total of 14 rounds of CPR, 5 doses of adrenaline, and 6 discharges of AED shocks without success. Now, family, that sister didn't deserve none of that, man. The bastards didn't even have the decency to try to get this girl to let them take her to a hospital so that they could save her life. They could have let the doctor take her to a hospital or call for an ambulance to take her and then just left. They could have at least done that. But I got the good news coming up here. Whether you know it or not, this is from the Charlotte Observer. An arrest warrant has been issued for a suspect in the Shanquella Robinson death. That's what the report says. Now, I'm just speculating because all of this is still under investigation, but I'm assuming that they're going after that piece of shit that jumped that sister in that video first. I'm thinking that's who they're going to go after first. And I hope it is. I hope they get every last one of them because they on the run right now, but they're going to find them. So I'm just going to say this. The FBI is looking for them probably. When they catch them, they're going to extradite their ass back down to Mexico because, see, check this out. An arrest warrant levying charges of femicide was issued in the case of Shanquella Robinson. ABC News reported late Wednesday citing a prosecutor in Mexico City. So there's the good news. Prosecutors are treating this as a murder. The name of the suspect, who is said to be the direct aggressor, so I'm hoping that's that piece of shit in that video, has not been released. Both ABC News and the Wall Street and WSOC, the Charlotte News Observer's partner, reported. Okay, so now I want y'all to listen to the rest of this, right? But this is what makes me confident that some justice is going to be served here. The FBI field office in Charlotte, which has opened an investigation, would not comment on the arrest, which is normal while they're investigating things, would not comment on the arrest warrant when reached by the Observer late Wednesday. In a response, a spokesperson said, "Our investigation is completely separate from Mexico. I'm not privy to anything they're doing." So, okay, so we got two concurrent investigations running at the same time here. So here's the deal, right? After everything that they just stated there, hold on, I want to go back because I want to make sure that I saw that right. Hold on, just a second. I want to make sure that I report all the facts as I found them so far. And see, here's the thing, right? Since they got two investigations running side by side, man, it's over for them. It's over for them. They can't run down to Mexico because they're going to be looking for them. So, I mean, like, it's a route for them. And they just then broke, so they're not going to be able to hide nowhere. I hope they give their asses a million years. And see, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. That's why I took it back there. But here's some information that could help everybody out with this, right? Because, see, even though we got the wheels turning, one thing we know about situations that happen to our people, we have to stay on it to make sure that we get the justice that we deserve, right? So here's some information, right? You can call the American Embassy in Mexico at this number, 844-528-6611, and demand they take this seriously. Their job is to ensure the well-being and safety of American citizens abroad. Post demands and tag Secretary Blinken, okay, that's over here in the United States government, the U.S. Embassy here, the State Department, the FBI, tag them all, and use this hashtag because, see, as I said at the beginning of this broadcast, a lot of people don't understand the power of our voices when we're using social media on code for the right things. This is the right thing. I want everybody to screenshot and take this information down. If you're just coming in, play it back. We need all hands on deck with this because, see, that sister's family deserves justice. They deserve justice. They don't deserve to sit here and be without their loved one during the holidays and for the rest of their life over something idiotic and silly like this. This kind of like despicable behavior right here. This is something I'm going to say again, like I said in my last broadcast. We have to make people in our community that exhibit this type of behavior pariahs. They can't be looked at as normal people. I'm going to go this far with it. I'm going to tell y'all something. This might sound kind of controversial. Y'all tell me whether you agree with this statement I'm about to make. Since this situation is so tragic, and we've seen it many times before this, I'm all for putting people that exhibit this kind of behavior, this envy and this jealousy to the point that you want to harm somebody. We need to put them in the same category that we've put pedophiles. That's how serious I take it. Because, see, these people are a vicious, demonic danger to our community. They're taking our best and brightest away from us before they even have a chance to fully mature and blossom into who they're supposed to be. I'm all for looking at them the same way that we would a pedophile. I mean, we have to, because, see, when you start to look at it, and I'm going to bring up these brothers since they were recent. PNB Rock, his murder. Young Dolph, his murder. Takeoff, his murder. Many others, but just those three recent. Look at what it was over. All for nothing. All because somebody had some type of issue of jealousy against those brothers. Now, I'm not saying they were saints. I ain't saying they did everything right. But what I am saying, these cowards that are running up on these people like this, I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. They got all the smoke in the world for productive black people that's doing things to help the community. But when we see these race soldiers killing our people, or any of these white supremacists harming our people, like they did our brother Ahmaud Arbery down there in Brunswick, Georgia, where these rah-rah motherfuckers at then, huh? That's what I want to know. Where they at then? They got all the smoke in the world for regular people that's just trying to live their lives, be the best people they can be, improve the community, and provide opportunities for people, but they don't never go after people that's harming us. That's what pisses me off. They nothing but pure cowards. We're gonna have to treat them that way. And see, I'm like this. All hands on deck with this one, because wherever they hiding at, whatever rat hole they stuck up under, this the time right here for everybody to be like, okay, as soon as we see you, we're reporting it. Because see, let's clear this up. We shouldn't have to clear this up, but I got intelligent people in the chat room, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You got this thing where people get to talking about no snitching. Let's break this down. Snitching is when you committing a crime with somebody and then you tell on the people that you committed the crime with. If you turn these pieces of shit in, that ain't got nothing to do with snitching. You cleaning up your damn community. And see, we got to take responsibility for that. It starts with us, because see, the way these people treat our lives, it don't matter if it don't matter to us. So we got to be the ones in the forefront saying, no, you will do something about this. It's not optional, because that woman was a tax-paying citizen just like everybody else, just like her family. And what happened to her? Nah, you just like you respond for people in the dominant society and other people classified as white, you're going to respond for us too. We're going to have to push the issue on that more than ever, because see, family, I hate to bring this into it, but it's necessary. Hate crimes that are committed against us at a higher rate than any other group, okay, yet we can't get no hate crime bill. This is something we got to start thinking about, not only just for people outside our community, we need to start thinking about it for people inside our community. Oh yeah, I'm going there with it, because see, the next time that any politician step to you talking about getting your vote for any damn thing, we need to bring these types of situations up. We're like, okay, well, tell me what you're going to do the next time we have a situation that happens to one of our sisters like Shanquella Robinson. Bring up all the names, because we got too many to name, unfortunately. We need to bring these things up. The minute that they start coming around us with their foolishness, let them know that, hey, listen, all that singing and dance you talking about, I need to talk policy and business. We're going to make them do their part if they talking about they want our vote. That's for either side, Republican or Democrat, okay? This issue needs to stay on the forefront. And see, it's up to us to keep these things up front, because see, if we don't, it gets swept under the rug. They try to treat it like it never happened until it happens to a little white person, okay, little white girl especially. Because see, we all know, had this been little Tiffany, and I got to go here with it again, like Dennis Sperling said, had this been little Tiffany that went down there with some black people, and Tiffany didn't come back, man, they would lock up everybody. Everybody. It wouldn't even take this long. And see, we've seen too many times that show when they get ready to react in a swift manner, in a fast manner, they go ahead and get things handled immediately. Think about any time they've ever even accused a black person of something, had the wrong person. They get to moving faster than you can blink. So I wanted to bring y'all this quick update on this to let you know that even though this is good news, we got to keep the pressure on. It's not over until we hear that they raggedy asses is going to be extradited down to Mexico. And I'm going to keep up with this, because I want to find out when they get down there, I'm covering what they're going to give them to. I hope they give their ass all the time that they can give them down there in Mexico. Because, see, they deserve to rot in hell for what they did to that sister. That pissed me off so bad, man, when I saw this. Because, like, you know, again, for me, when I saw that the sister was, like, non-confrontational, I can't stand a goddamn bully, man. A bully is something that I have always despised all of my life. I can't stand that. See, I was the type of person back when I was in school and college, the bullies feared me. Cause I mean, I'm the type of person, man, I see you jumping on somebody like that and they ain't fighting back, man, I'm probably going to jump in and help. Like, hey, man, fight somebody to fight your punk ass back. You know, I'm sorry, family, but that just hit me. But I had to bring this update to you, and I promise you I'm going to stay on this. I'm going to try to, like, keep up with what happens when they catch all the people involved. If they mention any names, because I understand right now they have to do the investigation, so they're going to withhold names. Although when it's black people, they go ahead and put, you know, black people that do something to white people, I mean, they go ahead and put the names out there immediately. So either way, I'm going to stay on it. Make sure you save this information that you're looking at here on your screen. Everybody that's on social media needs to be on this, calling that number, letting them know that we care about people in our community when something happens to them. Because you got a lot of people running around saying that we don't care nothing about our people. That's a bold-faced lie. We love our loved ones. We care about all our people. We do. And this is one chance right here for us. Even if we never met that sister's family, we can show them that they are our family. And we got their back on this. Everybody in this chat room should think that way. So with that said, family, I didn't want to keep you all too long. I just want to bring you this recent update on this information. And with that said, I'm going to close the broadcast. Black first. I'll see you all in future content.
There are a lot of misconceptions about Maroons. Typically in literature, whites will say that the Maroons were uncivilized, they were unorganized, they were lewd, they were barbaric. These were the people who lived in the bush.
There is no other group on the planet Earth that have taken on the devil than what we have. In his own house.
Some estimates say that there are about 50,000 Maroons that you can find per year throughout the Americas.
The Great Dismal Swamp was an area between that Virginia, North Carolina, the eastern border area. This was a popular area for a lot of not only runaways, but natives. A lot of the black natives hung out there. The Gullah Geechee were known in that area.
Because that's who we are. You can put us anywhere in the world. We are survivors.
If you are really tapped in with your environment and you become one with that ecosystem, right? You know what I'm saying? That ecosystem begins to work with you.
We were robbed of our definition of who we were, which is our nationality and our tribe. And we fell into the description of what we were from someone else's eyes.
Resistance is not just about not only violence and physically fighting back, but there has to be resistance literature, resistance language.
A whole 2 detachments of U.S. soldiers got mowed down by the Black Seminoles. They destroyed an entire U.S. military force. Out of 110 people, they killed 108. That's damn good shooting.
The Black Seminoles were using all types of guerrilla warfare tactics, and these warfare tactics are studied in military schools to this day.
They didn't like Muslims, slaves. The same reason they didn't like Indian slaves, because they weren't afraid to die.
Once you realize you're not safe, your children, your families aren't safe. The people who you're bringing in the world are not going to be safe long after you. There becomes a need to stand up and survive at all costs.
We are the Maroons. We are today's Maroons. We are the force that's moving forward. We will never be stopped.